Yeah. Looks like we're live, right, Sandy? So hello, everyone out there in social media land. I'm Lisa Coppola, the chair of the NAWBO National Board, and I am so lucky today to have with me Sandy Stewart, who is at NAWBO Austin and Austin, Texas, which is the location of our Women Business Conference in October this year. And Sandy is the founder in Austin and has been working incredibly hard these past couple of years growing the Austin community, right?
Yes, yes.
Talk to us just for a minute about that.
We chartered in May of last year, May of 2022. To charter, you have to have 25 members. So we hit that in May of 22. And yeah, we've been growing ever since. I think we hit 50 members a few months ago. So we're in that 50 member range and growing. And we've got currently half of our membership coming to conference.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. And as it should be, right?
As it should be, yes.
And talk to us for a minute about Austin, Texas.
Well, I got a lot to brag about. I moved here in 1998. So I have seen a lot of growth and change in Austin. You know, we were a sweet little town. And we just a few months ago it was released that we are number 10 in the 10th most populous cities in America.
Goodness.
So we've had a lot of growth.
Yeah.
Especially over the last handful of years.
Which is amazing. And I've had the good fortune to visit once earlier this year on a site visit for the Women's Business Conference. And what struck me, and I'm from Buffalo, New York, what struck me is how friendly everybody was as we were visiting the venues and talking with folks who we're going to partner with during the conference. Everybody was just so welcoming. And
everybody wants to be your friend.
Everybody wants to be our friend, which is super cool and just a wonderful place for us to all gather October 15th to 17th. So just about 6 or 7 weeks from now.
I can't believe it's already happening.
I know, isn't it? It's exciting. Just so cool. And I know that everyone I've talked to is incredibly excited about the conference. We've got hundreds of women already registered, which is super cool. And we're looking for several hundred more to register. You know, in this day and age, we sort of, I think as a general rule, we wait kind of to see how our season is going to be, right? How's our fall going to be? For some of us, it's, you know, the kids are back to school and how does everybody settle in? For others of us, it might be a season for our business. Are we busy? Do we have the revenue coming in, right? Do we have the cash flow to support a trip to Austin to be with all of our NAWBO sisters and other supporters of women in business? And I am convinced this year will be our biggest and certainly our best national conference that we've ever had. So talk to me a little bit about what you all in Austin are looking forward to having the rest of all of your NAWBO sisters and entrepreneurial supporters being with you there.
Well, so Austin is it's got a very entrepreneurial spirit. I know people have heard the slogan, "Keep Austin Weird," whether they visited here or not. But let me just say, I don't think everybody knows where that term came from, where that phrase came from. It actually started in the year 2000. And my understanding is that's when it was. But basically it was meant initially as a campaign to shop local.
Oh.
Because and so it was, you know, it's what 3.5 times your dollar spent on local businesses is the strength of that dollar is 3.5 times than if you spend that dollar with a chain. in your local community.
Yep.
And so really Austin is built on this concept of supporting our local businesses. That's what keeps our culture unique, is that like you're going to come here and you're going to find, local mom and pop shops, restaurants, bars, so that's, I think, one thing that's really bred the entrepreneurial spirit that we have here in Austin. And I think it's just a perfect spot to be supporting all these amazing women business owners from all over the country with this, vibe of, let's keep it local. Let's relish in our local communities and our local flair and our local culture, like culture
Right.
makes us all fun and unique and different, and let's relish in that. So I think it's just a perfect venue for that.
Absolutely. And it's so interesting. You talk about local, and you're right. Dollars are magnified so significantly when they're spent locally. And we can even sort of flex that concept and think about it in terms of our exhibitor hall, where we will have a number of us women business owners from around the country, several from Texas, perhaps more than several, right? And it's a way to invest in the microcosm of women business owners in a pseudo local way, right?
Yeah.
Local to our venue for the conference, which is
I
really
know there's a handful of us from the Austin chapter that are going to be vendors in the exhibit hall. I, for one, will be there, so you can find me
awesome.
in the Made for Texas area of the exhibit hall. So that's pretty exciting. We have, I think, well, I don't actually know how many are going to be in that, but it's at least a handful, if not more, that are from our local Austin chapter. So that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And a great way for us to all, get to know each other.
Absolutely. And one of the things that we intentionally, and our amazing headquarters staff intentionally built into this year's conference, is more flexibility to spend time with each other, right? Some of the feedback we've heard is the content is great. We'll talk about that too in this live. But also, we want to spend time getting to know each other, getting the ability to really go a little bit more deeply in our relationships with our colleagues, certainly from our own chapters. It's always cool to me, coming from Buffalo with a number of people from my chapter, to get to know them better in a different, context, and a little bit more time on our hands to spend, but also getting to know women across the country and figuring out, in a lot of cases, which is such a cool aspect to NAWBO, how we can do business with each other and how we can support each other, right?
Yeah, this will be my fourth conference to attend, and one of those four was the virtual conference that NAWBO did during lockdown. So that was another interesting, experience of seeing it done that way. I'm really glad that we're back in person. I personally love the visceral experience of, I need to see faces, so it's really good for me, to recognize faces. But last year in Kentucky, we were just barely a fledgling chapter. I think we might have had, I don't know how many members we had at the time, maybe 20.
Okay.
No, we had to have had at least 25, so maybe 30. And we had 9 of us going to Kentucky. We actually I'm wearing our t-shirt. We made t-shirts to go. So this is
It's
our
very cool.
Texas cowgirl business owner standing on top of, so NAWBO is the foundation for us all growing our businesses. And it really helped us, those of us that went to conference together are a lot closer because of it. We understand each other's businesses better. We're able to help and support each other better. So I'm really excited for this year, for us having so many at conference, that we'll get to know even our own chapter members better, not only getting great content from speakers and breakout sessions, but also getting to know, other business owners across the country. I mean, I, for one, can have clients anywhere in the country, and I know a lot of businesses are like that now.
Absolutely.
Not everyone, but I think more are that way, especially after the pandemic. A lot of us figured out how to do things online and to have virtual business. And so it's just a perfect opportunity to, amplify our connections throughout this amazing organization.
Absolutely. And you talked about the content. There is an incredible lineup of content, speakers and breakouts, and interesting opportunities to collaborate. Of course, our keynotes, right? We have Martha Beck, who will be there on the second day of the conference. So Tuesday, October 17th, she'll be our keynote speaker that day. On the first official day of the conference, which is the prior day, Monday, the 16th, we're going to have an amazing fireside chat with Bank of America ambassador. Her name is May Shu, and May is the woman who founded Chesapeake Bay Candle Company, and she has a new business venture called Concord Fragrances. And our good friend Sharon Miller from Bank of America, our presenting sponsor, we're so grateful to Bank of America. We'll be sitting down with May and all of us. And May will be sharing her insights and guidance and practical information for all of our attendees at the conference, and putting those keynote speakers together with all of the breakout speakers, right? We have this year at least 3 different breakouts every hour. So depending on where you are in your business journey, and NAWBO has started to call what, we all do a journey, because it really is. And sometimes that journey is easy, and sometimes, we're walking uphill a little bit, right, Cindy?
Right.
And it's very, I think, cool and interesting, also inspirational, but absolutely educational, and importantly serves one of our founding pillars of education, to make sure that we are providing meaty content in all of our breakout sessions. We heard feedback on that as well last year. So we are sure to be providing breakouts that you will take information, action steps, and deliverables from it and be able to execute in your own business. So you're looking at the full agenda, which is almost fully populated on our website. We've been working really hard over the last several weeks to fill in the blanks so people can see, what is this meet, right? We're all traveling to Austin for, and it runs the gamut from things like, recruiting in the tough labor market. For many of us, it's one of the struggles of our businesses, to developing relationships that are meaningful enough to help us scale our business. 2, and I think this is a really interesting, I'm looking forward to this breakout. It's on networking. Depending on whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, right? What's your personality type, and what might be the most comfortable way for you to interact in a networking type of event? So we've got lots of that, and added to that, right? Cash flow and how to scale and financing. There are so many meaty topics.
Yeah, it's going to be a really great conference. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Really exciting. And then the last part of it, and I don't want to miss out talking about this, is the NAWBO annual meeting, which is what we call the first day. It's not technically the conference, but Sunday, October 15th, we have a full day that contains our annual meeting, which is part of what every nonprofit corporation has to do across the country. But also then Sunday, we've got a number of breakout sessions as well. In fact, that's where we're going to have one of the scaling your business breakouts, a breakout about cash flow, which I think is another, almost omnipresent topic that those of us who are running businesses think about day in and day out. And to have experts in those areas talking to us will make that first day, the annual meeting day, even more robust. So we're certainly hopeful folks fly into Austin, by Saturday evening, join all of us in some socializing. And that's what I wanted to talk about for a second with you, Sandy. Now that you've been to 3 in person, 1 virtual conference already, what are your takeaways when you get together socially at the conference?
Well, I mean, like I said, it's really about one, it's getting to know my fellow members even more. You know, we're running things here and having our own events, but we don't always have the same kind of immersion, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
That really helps us to really understand what's going on for each other and just really creating that camaraderie. But getting the chance to network and get to meet other, I mean, with my business, I'm, you know, virtually working. I can take clients anywhere in the country. I'm helping small and mid-sized companies to become sustainable, thriving brands. And I, because I can do that anywhere in the country and virtually, then it really helps me to hone in and on what kind, like who I want to partner with, who I can bring value to with growing their business, you know, and all of those things. So I think it just really, the networking part gives a really great avenue for any business doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The other aspect of this year's Women's Business Conference is our Next Gen Forum. And, you know, what we've seen coming out of the pandemic is that women are forming new businesses at a far higher rate than they had even before the pandemic. And part of that is women in their mid years and post corporate life. But a big percentage also is our young women, whether they're still in high school, whether they're in college, whether they're immediate postgraduate. And the Next Gen Forum is going to be the second day of the conference, October 17th, Tuesday. And it's this amazing forum for college and post-college age women on their entrepreneurial paths. So where are they on their journey? Have they started their business? Are they at the beginning? Are they contemplating it? And here's where they can learn and receive so much great guidance and information, both from those who are experienced, but also from their peers, which is a really, I think, cool dynamic. In fact, there's going to be a panel with two sets of sisters who are successful business partners, next gen women, and to see that kind of, you know, we're doing it and you can too. Something that I tend to say a lot, we lift as we climb, right? We're always there as NAWBO sisters to support each other in whatever way we can. The Next Gen Forum will be a really robust way to welcome women who are younger and who are newer to their entrepreneurial journey into the fold of NAWBO.
100%. The children are our future.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, and especially in my business, you know, with sustainability, like those are the ones that care, and you know, millennials on down, those are the ones that are choosing to work with companies that align with their values. And so they've got some amazing business ideas. And I think it's really exciting to see what some of them are coming up with. And I'm excited to meet some of them myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the really fortunate parts of this conference is, due to some amazing sponsors and corporate partners, we actually have 30 scholarships for next gen attendance. So I'd encourage, and I hope we all spread the word so that our next generation, whether they're entrepreneurship programs in your local college or community organizations, spread the word that there are 30 scholarships available to pay the full ride of attendance at the conference for our next gen attendees. And, you know, we don't want that to go to waste. We want them to be with us and joining in, because, as you say, they are the future of women in business across the country. And and we're really, you know, let's be candid. We're putting our money where our mouth is. We want them with us. And what better way can we show that than to really make it a little bit easier by providing them financial support so that they can join us?
Yeah. It's going to be great. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing me on today.
Well, I'm delighted to have had you. Really happy to have one of our Austin sisters. And the founder in the Austin community. And thank you so much for your enthusiasm. Let's just remember to tell everybody to go to NAWBO.org. So NAWBO.org. And you just click on the events section and you'll see the Women's Business Conference. You'll see the Next Gen Forum, which is on the second day of the conference. And we're all looking forward to Sunday, October 15th through Tuesday, the 17th. Lots of education, lots of collegiality and networking, a ton of inspiration, and just a boatload of fun to help us propel our businesses forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Come get some music, live music, some barbecue, maybe a cowboy hat, have some fun.
That's right. Thank you so much for being with us today, Sandy.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And thanks to everybody out in social land. Please continue to join us at NAWBO.org. Bye-bye.